Hey, what's up? This is Udolena from Udolena Digital, and today I'm going to talk about this book, The Greatest Salesman in the World by Mandino. Welcome to my channel. My name is Udolena, and every Sunday I come with a new video. I review my favorite books, the courses that I'm doing, personal development, as well as I share some tips and tricks about how to run Google Ads, as I work in Google and this is my full-time work. I am a salesman myself, so this is why I was very excited by this book. I found this book from Grant Cardone. If you haven't seen my video on Grant Cardone's university course, you can watch it here. I did that course myself. Grant Cardone is a serious guy. He's not someone who is into the woo and wah. This book might sound a little bit hippie to some of you, but I urge you to take it seriously, to take it without pessimism, with open mind, and you will learn a lot from it. The Greatest Salesman in the World is written by Mandino. Aug is a short name for, I think, from Augustus or Augustine, I'm not sure. But anyway, Mandino, he wrote it in the 60s, late 60s, and he himself was just considering to kill himself. When he ended up into a self-help bookstore, he found some really great books, and he devoted his life to help people who are in trouble with his motivational books and speeches. And this particular has been sold 14 million copies. 14 million copies. At the moment you can get it on Amazon, and I think they print them in India, so it's great. Thank you very much for the guys who are actually making this possible, because I was looking into who owns the rights, and the company that's been printing his books is long gone. This book is a little bit forgotten, so it's really great that we still have a chance to get this version. The book itself is a masterpiece. I can tell you that this is something that can really help you change your mindset. Not all about sales, and don't think about if you're not particularly a salesman as a profession that this does not apply to you. There's a lot of things that you can learn. The book itself starts in the Middle East, and you gradually understand that it's the time just after the death of Christ, but the book itself has a little bit of sense of mythology. It's taking a lot of things from the Christian tradition. So if you are not a Christian yourself, don't worry. Just Google some stuff and you will understand the context. But I'll just give it to you quickly. And just don't ignore it as well, because of the supposedly religious analogies in the book. It applies to anyone really, regardless of whether they're religious or not and what religion they come from. So the story is about this rich guy, Hafid. Hafid lives in the Middle East during the Roman Empire. He's a caravan owner, and he has this opulent house where he has all the best things in the world at that time. And he decides to give it away. So he wants to give the half of it to the poor. And he's telling this bookkeeper why he decided to do so. So he's sharing his story, how he became rich, and the secret of the 10 scrolls. So the idea is that when Hafid was very young, he wasn't born rich. He was born as a poor camel boy. He was working as a camel boy in a big caravan for one of the richest men at that time. And he really wanted to become a salesman, so he begged this rich guy if he can become his trainee. And the guy agreed, and he said, okay, but there's something you have to do as your first task, and you might fail at this one. I'll give you this really expensive robe, this beautiful garment, and you have to go to Bethlehem. So for those of you who don't know, Bethlehem is the birthplace of Jesus Christ in Israel. And you have to go to Bethlehem, and you have to sell this really expensive robe, and you have to sell it at this price, no less than that. And he goes there all full of hopes, but Bethlehem is a poor little village. It's nothing there, and he cannot sell the shirt, he cannot sell this garment. And one night he is in a traveler's inn, actually in the cave where the animals are sleeping. And to those of you who are familiar with the Bible, this resembles a lot of the place where Jesus was born. And this is exactly what he witnesses. He witnesses a couple, a very old man and a young woman who's just given birth. And of course, this is Joseph and Mary. And the baby is little Jesus. So he's thinking, like, he's desperate. He's been trying to sell this robe for a while now, nobody's buying it, and he's like, okay, forget about it, I'll just give this rope to this little young boy. He's trembling, and I can see the mother doesn't have good clothes, she's also cold, so I'll give it to them. At least I'll do one good thing, and that's it, and my career as salesman is gone anyway. And what happens is, of course, the mother is really grateful. He kisses him. There was a star in the sky, and the star was really, really bright. And Hafid started going back home, and the star was following him. And when he arrived to the caravan, the old master, who was at his deathbed, he was very, very sick in the meantime, he saw the star and he realized that Hafid has something special about him. So he decided to unravel him the secret of the 10 scrolls, which essentially made Hafid the best salesman in the world and one of the richest people in the Roman Empire. So I'll go through each of the scrolls and tell you a little bit about my experiences and how I think this is relevant through my own lens. You can read it yourself. I truly recommend it because you will see for yourself analogies from your own life. Scroll number 1 is the Scroll of Habit. So in this scroll, the scroll is about a couple of pages, maybe about 100 to 100 words, nothing too long, and it's very simply written. So this is talking about forming good habits and becoming their slave, because this is a good habit. You want to slave to good habits, and people, we usually are habit driven. So if we have bad habits, they can destroy us. If we have good habits, they can lift us to new heights. So actually the rule of scroll number 1 is to take each scroll and to read it 30 days. Yes, 30 days, every scroll. To read it this in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, where in the evening you have to read it aloud, and you have to do it 30 days with each scroll, and then you go to the next one, until you've read all the 10 scrolls. And this is what I've been doing with my boyfriend actually the last few weeks. And to be honest, don't take this one with pessimism. It does help you because it helps you to unconsciously hear the words and consciously understand the message. And of course, when you repeat and repeat and repeat, I do believe in affirmations, and in saying certain things actually can reflect in a very strange way to your subconscious mind, to the way how you feel, and to your overall mental state. So the first scroll is about getting the habit of reading. The second scroll is the scroll about love. So love is, he says, the biggest weapon of a salesman. And here we're not talking about love in a sense of just being treacherous and pretending that you love others so you can sell them more stuff. That's not the idea of the thing. The thing is that if you are really concerned about others, if you really believe that with your product, with your expertise, with your knowledge in the industry, you're able to console them and to make their life better, and therefore they decide buying from you, you can use the love for a good purpose. But in a way, it's not about the fact that you want to love people so that you can meet your quota and get your bonus or something like this. It's about being caring to others, being caring to the ones who actually meet you with maybe with negative attitudes, especially if you're doing something like cold calling. You will get this kind of things a lot. And I've applied something similar before in my cold calling times, and you cannot imagine the difference it makes if you are smiling when you're talking on the phone, and the difference it makes when you're pretending that you are happy and cheerful, but actually you just hate the person. It's like twisting your mind to actually to love others, even if they are not very lovable, because you can actually find something to love in every single being. When you apply this rule, when you give love to your enemies, they become your friends. When you encourage and support your friends, they become your brothers. So it's about building relationships, building friendships, and essentially being a good person. And people can feel when you have this positive energy, when you care for them, and when you're just trying to push them your stuff. Number 3, persistence. I really love this one. I can see a lot of times when people are really good, they are great, they have great knowledge, they're great salespeople, however they just don't persist. They would be just like, oh, this didn't land so well, so I'll not continue on this one, or this was not the right client, this was not the right moment. And essentially they limit what they are capable of doing. In many cases, actually most times, if you want to build something remarkable, if you want to make something big, like a big impact, big change, this does not happen like that. It's something that requires some sort of persistence. So working over longer periods of time, not expecting immediate gratification, which we all do have in this world of social media and likes and follows. So being able to persist over a significant amount of time, and also not becoming complacent once you're successful, because if you become complacent, it's very easy that you fall back into failure mode. Or scroll number 4, I am nature's greatest miracle. So believing that you are unique, and this is the truth, this actually gets you to think about the fact that you're one in a million. You're one in never gonna be ever before or after. You are just this concentration of energy of so many circumstances. Just think a little bit about how your parents met and how your grandparents met and where you are at the moment and how the whole world developed in order to be at the place that it is right now, and the place where you are, what its history and everything that has happened, so that you are at this point of time at this little place in the world. Just thinking about this gets you excited, and then you understand that you have a unique opportunity, that you are unique yourself. Nobody else can sell like you do, nobody else can present like you do, nobody else can do YouTube videos like you do, nobody else can actually live your life for you. You have to do it, and you will do it your way. So really believing that you are a miracle and you are here to make miracles yourself. Which leaves us to scroll number 5, and this is living this day as if it is your last. You hear this everywhere on Instagram posts and motivational speakers, and you think like, oh, it's my last day, I should probably quit my job and go bungee jumping or do this crazy thing I always wanted to do. And this is not the point. This is about cherishing every single moment, because you don't know whether it will repeat. Cherishing, let's say, this beautiful afternoon when it's sunny and it's not raining, but cherishing also the rainy day, or cherishing the moment when you're sad or when you're unhappy, and cherishing the moment when you're happy and blissful. Really understanding that it's always the moment that you have. This is all you have. You don't have tomorrow and you don't have yesterday. This is just illusion of our mind. So we should not spend our time regretting the past and being frightened by the future. Only thing that we have is today. Scroll number 6 is mastering our emotions. Today I become a master of my emotions. So thinking about how there is night and day, there is spring and summer and autumn and winter, that there are sad times and there are happy times, and life is never actually one or the other. It's always changing, and there's always, when there is extreme happiness, there will be a moment of extreme sadness, but this is not here to stay. Actually, if you meditate, this is something that I've learned now from practicing meditation for a few months, is that your mind is like a clear sky. So in the sky you have sometimes clouds, and these are the thoughts and the emotions and the feelings. And what you end up is actually chasing these little clouds, forgetting about this innate quality of your mind, that it's actually clear, and it's always been clear. It's just that when we start chasing the emotions, when we start going deep into them and associate ourselves way too much with the emotions, that's when we lose perspective of our initial clarity that we have by default, let's say. So, resetting yourself to your factory settings, let's say in technology language, this is the purpose of controlling your emotions. Actually, I can recommend you another book here called The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. It's a very interesting book, especially if you like this kind of things and you want to read something small every day. This is a great thing to start with. This book is just like meditation for every day. There is like a little quote, and actually the whole month of January was devoted on mastering your emotions and understanding that you are not your emotions. This is something that comes and storms in your quiet by nature mind, and it's up to you to actually control them. Scroll number 7, laugh at the world. And after all of these things, it's very important that you still have your sense of humor. You don't forget who you are, but also you don't take yourself way too seriously. Actually, if you look at some successful men, I did a video about Charlie Munger, you can watch it here, and his book, Poor Charlie's Almanac. Even the title, The Poor Charlie's Almanac, is a sense of humor. So he's one of the richest people in the world, and he's just making this. And if you read the whole book, it's actually all about self-irony and worldly wisdom. It's really great read. Don't forget to laugh at yourself, that you are not this perfect being that is so serious. If you're successful, your success is not permanent. It depends on a lot of other things and a lot of other people as well. So being grateful, and also not taking everything too seriously, not thinking that everything is personal and against you. Whatever someone says, you start thinking about, oh, what did he mean? Did he mean about me? Does that mean that I'm bad? Oh my gosh, my boss gave me a book about self-knowledge for Christmas. Does that mean that I don't know myself? You know, you get into this kind of thoughts. So being able to laugh at things, being able to laugh at yourself, and he says that if you laugh at yourself, you will never be poor, because laughter is God's greatest gift. Number 8, multiply your value 100-fold. So here is for the salesman. This is the moment where you go in. You came into this whole video probably because you want to multiply your value, your material value. Let's say you want to earn more money, you want to make more sales, you want to grow in your career. This is the chapter for you, but you have to read each one of them 30 days, morning, evening, and afternoon. You can make anything out of your life. As this analogy of the grain. So some of the grain will go into flour for bread, and people will eat the bread. Some of the grain will be given to the animals are going to eat the grain. And some of the grain will be given for sowing. So it will be it will fall into the ground, and it will become a new plant which will multiply its value. Let's say it will give birth to thousands of more grains and a huge harvest. And since you're a human being, you're not a grain, you're not onion, you're not a tree, you're not a sheep. You have the choice what you want to become. You are not forced to be bred, you're not forced to be given to the animals to be eaten. You can choose to actually become the grain who is sown in the fields and gives birth to this huge harvest. So you can multiply your value. You can use the clay, let's say the clay that you are made of, whatever you're made of, and you can use it to build a castle or to build a hut. And it's in your power. You decide how you're gonna live your life, who you're gonna be. You don't have to accept what life gives you by default. This is the starting point. You might have been born in a poor family, you might have been born in a country where you experience difficulties, but you are not there to stay. You can build yourself, and this is within your capability, that you increase your value 100-fold. Scroll number 9, which is taking action. And this is the one that we don't like. It's procrastination, postponing for tomorrow. Today is not a good day, maybe tomorrow. I won't call this person today because he might not be in a good mood. Oh, it's raining today, I'm not gonna go there. Oh, today I don't feel well, I work from home. Oh, today this happened or that happened, and I'm afraid of coronavirus, so I'm not gonna do any calls, I'm not gonna go to work. Postponing, being frightened, being procrastinating, always waiting for the right time. This is killing. You might be master of the habit and the love, and you can laugh at yourself and love the world and have control on the emotions, but if you don't take action, this is where it stops. The videos are not going to record themselves, They're not gonna post themselves on YouTube. Calls, the pitches, they're not gonna be done on its own. You have to take action. You have to do what you decided to do, your aim. And this is where a lot of big dreams and a lot of big opportunities die, is the moment of action. And we are all guilty of procrastination, and it's the biggest enemy, and it can kill anything really that you want to achieve in this life. So getting out of procrastination, acting now, even if you're not ready, even if you don't have the perfect camera, even if you don't have the perfect voice and you don't feel that well and you don't feel that confident, and maybe it's raining and maybe you got the flu, but you have to act. You have to come to the interview, you have to do the presentation, you have to get on the train, you have to act now. Scroll number 10, praying for guidance. So here it can be tricky. Let's say if you are, atheist, you don't believing in any God, forget about all these things. And he says that, forget about all these things. It doesn't matter what you believe and what you don't believe. This is about asking for guidance from a force which is stronger than all of us. There is such force. It might be something within us, it might be something above us, but I truly believe that there is a force which we have to ask for guidance. And when you ask for guidance, maybe you're asking yourself, maybe you're asking God, maybe you are talking to an angel, who knows what's going on, but there is something happening. And you have to forget about your ego and ask for guidance. Sometimes in meditation, you can ask for a question and you just let it sleep. You just let it sink in your consciousness and you go for sleep. And once you wake up, you get the answer. The same with praying for guidance. He actually has a whole versed prayer which you can use, which combines all the different scrolls so far, and it goes into your subconsciousness. There is something, when you ask for guidance, you receive. Otherwise you might end up wandering and procrastinating and not taking the action. So I truly recommend you to take this book seriously. Don't take it with pessimism. Give it a go and see how it works for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video is helping you. Please subscribe to this channel to see more videos like this one. Please comment and let me know which of these scrolls you have applied consciously or unconsciously so far in your life, which other books you've read and they help you a lot. And yeah, good luck, and let's all become great salesmen.